Hello everyone and welcome to this week's Everton show. 37 Premier League games gone now, just the one to go, and that's Arsenal on Sunday. But whatever happens at the Emirates, it's already been a momentous week for the football club with the first sight of a brand new kit and the announcement that SportPesa are to be our new main partners in a record-breaking deal. Alongside me this week for the penultimate Everton show of the season is Graham Stuart. Undoubtedly, these are exciting times.
They are, Darren, there's no doubt about it. And a new 5-year sponsorship deal with SportPesa, as you mentioned there, is terrific for the football club. New partners after a really good and fruitful relationship with Chang. We made great friends with them over the course of the time, and I'm sure we will with SportPesa as well.
We're really looking forward to working with our new partners, and I can tell you we've got a jam-packed Everton show for you this week. Here's a taster of what's coming up in the next hour or so.
It's always nice to get a look at the first kit, to try it on, see what it feels like. Always excited. I love having white socks, so it's nice to see that we've stuck with that.
I'm really proud that I can continue helping the Johan Cruyff Foundation by fields like today, this one. I think it's really nice.
SportPesa is going to be a really good partner for Everton moving forward. They are a hugely ambitious company, very, very strong in their local markets, very keen to expand globally.
Tonight's a nice way to celebrate all that's been good about the season, and I've seen some really good highlights of things that we've achieved.
Because the main thing we want to do is to improve our away form next season, and if we can find this little confidence and this little boost with the last game, we will take it.
Well, at the very start of this week's show, I mentioned our brand new main partner, SportPesa. After the longest commercial partnership in Premier League history came to an end with our great friends from Chang, we were delighted to welcome SportPesa into the Everton family. It's an exciting partnership and one that our Chief Executive, Robert Elston, is really looking forward to.
SportPesa is going to be a really good partner for Everton moving forward. They are a hugely ambitious company, very, very strong in their local markets, very keen to expand globally. And I think by working with them, they can really help Everton grow. So very, very excited. A really good day for Everton Football Club.
I think the legacy of the club and its long-standing history as a benchmark in global football was a big reason why we wanted to look at Everton as a partner. And with the growth of our UK business and with the growth of our global exposure, we felt that partnering with a club like Everton made a lot of sense in terms of shared values and shared growth potential and shared opportunities.
SportPesa absolutely don't want to be, a sleeping partner in this arrangement. This isn't just about a logo and some advertising. This is about a partnership. So they'll really want to dig deep, get the most from it, prove to Everton fans that this is a partner worthy of the Everton brand. And I know they really are committed to that, and that means a lot to us. They've already talked to us about how they can help us enhance Everton in the community locally. We absolutely will be doing a huge amount of work on all sorts of different initiatives about developing footballers, on social and community issues in Africa.
One of the reasons why we selected Liverpool as a city and as a business hub was the access to talent and the access to people with clear and deep understanding of football and sports, and just the overall growth pattern has attracted us here, and we're very excited about the opportunities it offers.
Fans will know that we as a club invest all the time in the city. We're incredibly proud to be a key component in the city, and to find a partner that is prepared to do the same thing, to make a commitment to the city of Liverpool, to really put down some roots, to really create new jobs, and essentially marry their commitment to the football club to the city. I think that's great news. So that was a real nice added bonus and something we were delighted to welcome.
Graham, as a football club and as individuals, we're really looking forward to working with our new friends from SportPesa.
We are, yeah. Myself and Snods managed to get half an hour of Evo in the picture there with Robert, and he's a tremendous guy, full of enthusiasm, and that's the thing that came across to myself and Snods. The way he's embraced the football club, how excited he is going forward, and all the things that he wants to do as partners with us.
I was going to say, SportPesa are as excited and enthusiastic about this partnership as Everton Football Club are.
Yeah, very much so, and I mean a great way to open their account as well with the fans, to pay for their travel down to Swansea, which was a terrific gesture because that was a difficult situation for the fans. A 5:30 kick-off on a Saturday afternoon was a really, really difficult one for some to be getting back from. So Sport Payser to come up with the finances to make sure the fans had free travel was terrific.
It was a wonderful thing to do, wasn't it? As you say, a great way to say, here we are.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's, if that's the start of the fruitful partnership that I'm certain it will be. You know, that's a great way to do it, to announce yourself to the fans that they're behind you.
Absolutely brilliant gesture. Well, if this week wasn't busy enough, we also revealed our brand new home kit for next season at an event held at the Invisible Wind Factory in Liverpool on Tuesday night. It was a terrific evening filled with special guests, and of course it offered those present an exclusive first look at the 2017-18 Everton strip.
It's always nice to get a look at the first kit, try it on, see what it feels like. Always excited. I love having white socks, so it's nice to see that we've stuck with that.
Yeah, I like it, to be fair. First impression was like, I can't wait to be putting that on. You know, I feel like a player again.
You must be extra excited, like you say, to put a shirt back on after such a long time out.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. You know, I'm just looking forward to that day. But no, I do like the new kit.
It's nice to put a proper night on and give the lads, the fans, a great showing and, like you say, display the kit. It's exciting times on and off the pitch, and the kit's going to add to that as well next year.
Graham, you and Snods were at the kit launch event at the Invisible Wind Factory in Liverpool, not far from the Titanic Hotel down there on the front on Tuesday night. It was good, wasn't it?
It was a good event, yeah. A place I'd never been to before, but you know, it was really, really good. I mean, there was the bodies that were there. I mean, we turned up in a taxi, and you know, the people were queuing around the block. They really were. So we knew it was going to be a fun event, and I think we surpassed ourselves really with the turnout. It was really, you know, superbly supported by the fans.
An eclectic mix of guests as well. We had yourselves on stage, you and Snods. We had Unzi there as well. Yannick Bolasie, great to see him there, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. I mean, Yannick's working super hard really to regain his fitness. And I think I read the other day, isn't it? Hopefully he's going to be jogging in the next couple of weeks as well, which is a huge bonus because psychologically, you know, when you've had an injury as bad as Yannick's, to get out there and actually start running around in the fresh air is great for him, and you know, hopefully that'll push him on as well. And you know, you can't have a kit launch without the kit man, can you? As well, Jimmy Martin made an appearance on stage with myself and Snods, and he was obviously great value as well.
He got one of the best receptions of the night, didn't he?
He did. He's more popular than the players, Jimmy, isn't he? But rightly so. He's been here the longest.
What do you make of the kit, Graham?
I like it. I think it's very simple. They say simplicity is genius, Darren. So I think it's one of those kits that looks better on. You know, when you hold it up and just take a picture of it, sometimes that you know leads it into a false sense. But certainly putting it on, it's very, very nice. I think it's, you know, nice and simple and straightforward. As Jags mentioned, white shorts, white socks. I like that. That's Everton for me. And you know, pretty straightforward blue. I think I quite prefer the long sleeve shout actually.
Yeah, so do I. Some people prefer blue socks, but I'm with you. I'm blue shirts, white shorts, white socks all day long.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I do prefer the white socks, but we had a pretty successful time when we had the old black and blue hoop socks,
yes,
didn't we?
So yeah.
Maybe something to think about in the future.
Of course, the most important thing about any kit is actually who's wearing it. And we had Jags and Idrissa Gueye who were there on Tuesday night, who can both look back on their seasons reasonably satisfied, although Jags had a little bit of a wobble halfway through. Yeah,
I mean, Garner came in and he's been absolutely outstanding from the minute he put on that shirt. You know, he was terrific, and I think the fans took to him straight away, and his combative style, you know, the amount of interceptions and tackles he made, and you know, he does simple things and he doesn't overdo it. You know, he does his job and then gives it to the other players and what have you. Jags has had a difficult season in some respects, started off and then, you know, maybe had a slight dip from his standards, was out the team for a while, but the way Phil's come back in and the performance level that he's produced in the back end of the season tells you all we need to know about his character. That's why he's the captain.
And the players for the photo shoot for the new kit were deliberately selected because they're all Scousers. We've got Joe Williams there, we've got Tom, John Joe Bainsey, and Ross was there as well.
Yeah,
local
I mean, it's great.
talent.
Well, local talent, and the fans love to see that as well. 5 Scouse lads wearing the shirt with pride, and you know, you look at those, and you look at John Joe, and you look at Joe Williams there. Hopefully, they're going to follow in the footsteps of Tom Davis, who's had a terrific back end of the season.
I'm sure they will at some point. And that brings us to the end of part one. After this short break, we'll be back with a look at the 1-0 victory against Watford last weekend, and we'll speak to Kevin Mirallas after he put pen to paper on his new deal. Welcome back. Now, last Friday night's narrow victory over Watford gave us a Premier League record haul of 43 home points in a season. The margin of victory may not have been as convincing as some of our others, but it was important to end the Goodison campaign on a high and then say thank you to the fans.
It was a tough game tonight, but a fantastic way to finish off the home form this season. I tell you, can hear him now. It's nice, something to build off, and exciting times, we hope.
It's always nice to win your last game, isn't it?
It is, especially with how we've done at home. It was a difficult time last year sometimes to play, but this year's been totally different. The boys have played some good stuff, and thankfully, great finish from Ross tonight.
It's been a fantastic season, especially at Goodison. Couldn't have asked for any better form here, really. And as always at Goodison, we got great support, made it a tough place to play.
Some of the performances at Goodison this season have been scintillating, haven't they?
Yeah, exactly. One of the best records in the Premier League, and that's a target again for next season. We can improve on the away form, then there's big things we can achieve.
And so many sellouts at Goodison Park this season. The commitment and the passion is fabulous.
Yeah, it's back. You can see the optimism. You can see what we're trying to do here, both on and off the pitch. You know, the chairman's done fantastic well getting the new shareholders to come in and spend some money, and we've been desperate for that for a while, and hopefully this is the start of something exciting.
Finally, it was a terrific goal to win the game, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was all down to my assist. It was put on a plate.
Lovely first time volleyed pass, to be fair.
Clearance, yeah, great clearance, went straight to him, but don't tell anyone.
Really proud of the team, of the players. 13 wins out of 19 at home, 4 draws, 2 defeats. I think it's a great home record this season, and chapeau to the players.
And you've got one more game to go, but going around that pitch tonight, were you satisfied with your first season here?
Yeah, I'm really happy, and I think we have overall a really good season. We finished straight after the Big Six in the Premier League. We have improved in a lot of aspects. We scored 10 goals out of corner kicks, only conceded 5. A big difference comparing to last season, and 30 wins out of 19 at home. Yes, away from home we need to improve, we need to do it better, but that's for next season.
Somebody's woken up on Saturday morning there, Graham, with the gaffer's pullover in their wardrobe.
No, yeah, nice little touch. I mean, I'm sure he's thrown plenty of stuff into the crowd, but probably never his jumper. But yeah, I mean, it was great, for everybody to go around the pitch and, traditionally go and thank the fans for their terrific support across the season. And I think the lads enjoyed that little lap of honour.
Do you think 7th place is just about right?
I think so, if we're honest about it. I mean, as much as our home form has been terrific, our away form's not been so good, and that's pretty much right. Why we're where we are, and it gives us something to look forward to improve upon. But certainly, our away form is something that 100% everybody, players, coaches, staff alike, we'll make sure we try and improve on next season.
Why has the away form not been as good as it has in previous seasons?
It's always,
certainly nowhere near as good as the home form this season.
No, it's always difficult to put your finger on it. I mean, I've played at clubs where our away form has been better than our home form. So and it can literally go from season to season as well. So it's very difficult to put your finger on it as such. I think the support at home, as we know, is terrific. It's an intimidating place to come to, Goodison Park, and especially when the crowd are up as well. I mean, and they're screaming for every decision. And I think the lads respond to that as well. I certainly look at one of the games earlier on in the season. I think Arsenal was a big turning point in the season where I think we were a goal behind, weren't we? And then the crowd just sort of erupted and just made the players run that extra yard faster and quicker and what have you like that. And everybody just seemed to be at one then for that second half. And we got amongst Arsenal. We made it uncomfortable for them. Physically, we outplayed them. And all of a sudden we turned the game around, and obviously Ashley Williams scores the winner and the place erupts. So that, for me, was a huge turning point in our season in terms of our confidence.
particularly as it came on the back of a poor performance, a disappointing performance at Vicarage Road against Watford. We had Ronald Koeman on the Everton show last week, and he was saying that it was a turning point for the players because they sat down together after that Watford game and thrashed one or two things out, and you could see by the time we came to play Arsenal, whatever they did, whatever they said, it certainly worked. Sometimes
you need to do that. You know, sometimes you need to sit in front of everybody and say your little piece, and sometimes don't be afraid to say it. Stand up and be counted. You know, so
you don't mind that, do you?
I don't mind that one little bit. I think that's something that's gone out the game too much. I mean, I'd like to see it on the pitch a little bit more. If, you know, people getting hold of other people and dragging them into position, letting them know if they don't feel they're doing it. I mean, it was happened in my day, and you made sure that you didn't let your teammates down. So sometimes in a dressing room, you just sit back and listen to what the manager's got to say first and foremost. And I'm sure the manager will then invite the players to say, listen, what do you think? You know, tell us, sit down, let's get it out in the open. We saw the improvement against Arsenal, so whatever was said worked.
It's the obvious highlight of a tremendous home campaign, the 4-0 win against Pep Guardiola's Manchester City.
I mean, what a terrific performance that was as well. You know, and we saw a young Tom Davies burst onto the scene really more than ever in that game. He scored a terrific goal and an all-round performance that I'm sure filled him with an awful lot of confidence and filled the supporters with a great deal of hope for the future as well. To see a young 18-year-old boss the midfield like he did, and against the likes of Yaya Toure, you know, a seasoned professional and a very successful one. So that was terrific, that game. 4 really good goals as well. And when you look at that and you think to yourself, well, hang on a minute, we turned Arsenal over, we've turned Manchester City over. You know, we belong. We can deal with that kind of company.
Another game I thoroughly enjoyed was Bournemouth 6-3. Had a little bit of everything, didn't it?
Well, it did. I mean, we had the ideal start, didn't we? Romelu scoring a really early goal, that set the tone for the game. And we looked really, really comfortable at half-time. And then Bournemouth sort of, you know, threw everything at us. They didn't have, you know, they could just let themselves go, really, second half. And all of a sudden they got themselves back into the game, and we're panicking and think to ourselves, typical Everton, we never do it. You know, we always make it a little bit more difficult than it should. But again, the players responded again, and we went goals ahead. And you know, I think that was a terrific game of football. It really was, especially if you're a neutral. You know, 9 goals in a game, you don't see that too many times. But, you know, Romelu's 4 goals, you know, again, individually was a terrific performance along the way. But it's been a terrific season.
And it was the day Ross celebrated just before he popped it into the back of the net. Well, as we've alluded to on many occasions in recent Everton shows, these are exciting times for the football club. Things are on the up, both on and off the field of play. And one man who has clearly bought into the current optimism is Kevin Mirallas, who was more than happy to commit his future to Everton by signing a new contract that will keep him at the club until 2020.
It's amazing. I have my amazing manager, amazing team, amazing fan. I hope the new stadium come quickly. With the new chairman, with Moshiri, with Bill, Ken Wright I think is the best place for me here, and I hope you sign a top player for fight for Champions League this season.
Are you happy with how your season has gone?
Yeah, I'm happy because last season everyone knows it's a difficult season for me, but I talked with the manager, and he knows he wants more like me, he wants more assist, want more goal, more consistently, but I work for that, and I hope with my new contract I'm play better next season.
Do you feel in the year you've had with the manager he has made you a better player?
Yeah, I work every day with him. He talk a lot with me. It's very important of my part the decision to sign the new contract because he believe on my quality, and I hope next season, the next few seasons. I'm a better player with him.
What does the summer involve for you now?
Yeah, but after I go to national team, I have 2 more games, one friendly, one qualification game for the World Cup. It's very important for the country, for me as well, and I hope after that I have a good break.
Are you looking forward to playing in Europe again with Everton?
Yeah, of course. 2 years ago you play Europa League here, and the atmosphere is amazing. It's, I think, the best feeling for me here, and I hope next season is the same.
Last question, the end of season's awards on Tuesday night. What was the inspiration behind your suit?
I don't know. I think it's my style or my wife. I don't know, but I know some people don't like my suit, some people like it, but I think it's the best suit because it's blue.
Kevin walked away empty-handed from the official end of season awards evening, but unofficially, he won the suit of the night by a mile, didn't he?
He won the fancy dress prize, didn't he? But no, I laughed as he walked in the door. I said, I didn't realise it was fancy dress, Kev. But as ever, he's always got that beaming smile on his face, and I'm sure that was widened further when he signed that new contract.
He's put pen to paper. It's good news for him, good news for the football club. Just want him to push on now and show the consistency, don't we?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's what you're always striving for, and it is a difficult position out wide in modern day football. It always has been. You're there to create. The hardest thing on a football pitch is to create chances and to score goals. That's why they get paid the big dollars, all the forward players, because the hardest thing to do is, as I've said, create and put the ball in the back of the net. But
he's got a goal in him, hasn't
he has, and I think Kevin will look back at the season and think, next season I'm going to come into pre-season, I'm going to work super hard, and I'm going to try and get that consistency. Add 3 or 4 more goals onto my tally, create a few more chances, and if he does that, we've got a proper player on our hands.
He's a great lad as well. Great to see him commit his future to Everton. And that's it for the second part of this week's programme. We'll take another short break now. When we return, we'll show you Ronald Koeman backing a venture named after his great friend and mentor, Johan Cruyff, and we'll bring you this week's Everton Academy Awards from St George's Hall. Now, Ronald Koeman and Johan Cruyff were great pals, 2 legends of the game. They teamed up together at Barcelona when the Blues boss was a player and Cruyff was the manager. Cruyff's passing in 2016 cast a huge shadow over the world game, but his legacy lives on with the Cruyff Foundation that does terrific work across the globe. Just last week, Everton in the community's hub building on Spellow Lane became only the 4th venue in the UK to have a Cruyff court installed. So, of course, Ronald Koeman was delighted to be the guest of honour at the official opening.
That I can continue helping the Johan Cruyff Foundation by it feels like today, this one. I think it's really nice to be part of that and to support that project, because he knew that Everton Football Club is doing a lot to the community, and he knew that I'm the manager of the Everton Football Club, and he's really proud. He's up, but he will have a big smile with this court today. And sometimes when I need to make decisions in football-wise, I think what had to do with Johan, maybe he went to the right or to the left, and still I remember that kind of decisions, and that helps because he was one of the best.
Yeah, it's fantastic, really delighted. It's been a long time in the making, so to be here at the official launch today is fantastic. Really, fabulous opportunity for us to play in our local community. We obviously have used facilities and resources across the city, which we'll continue to do so, but just to have it as part of our Goodison campus is a fantastic opportunity for us.
Yeah, very much important. If you see this location right next to the Everton Community Hub, next to the stadium, I think that is the best place where Cruyff Court should be. We always strive to have it right into community, next to community places such as this hub. For sure this will be a success.
Graham, that was another event that you attended, the official launch of the Cruyff Court on behalf of the Cruyff Foundation, and the guys from the Cruyff Foundation were terrific, weren't they? Full of enthusiasm.
Yeah, very much so. I mean, we sat there and listened to the presentation that they made beforehand on the projector at Goodison, and it was like sitting at an Everton in the community, presentation. Such is the similarities between the 2 charities. They both have got the same ideas. We both want to give facilities in and around communities. Obviously, the Cruyff Foundation around the world, globally. But for us here in and around the community at Everton Football Club.
It's a huge coup, isn't it, for Everton and the community to become only the 4th venue in the UK, the whole country, to have a Cruyff court, because what a name to be associated with.
Oh, of course, and I mean, obviously it helps with Ronald Koeman and the friendship that he had with Johan Cruyff, and obviously both being proud top players, Dutchmen as well. So, it's a sensible tie-up, it's an obvious tie-up. But it's a terrific facility, as Denise said there, and something we should be very, very proud of, and it'll give our kids the opportunity to come and play football.
It's part of the legacy of the great man Johan Cruyff, but in many, many years to come, it'll be part of the Everton legacy, won't it, for that area?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, I think it's important. I mean, I think it looks terrific. You know, and remember, I mean, it's easy for kids to fall into the wrong kind of, you know, friendships, you know, in and around the streets. This might just give them an opportunity to come and play football instead of being out and about on street corners, and that's the wider issue of it all. But no, certainly, I mean, something that the Cruyff Foundation and ourselves are incredibly proud of.
I thought it was lovely when Ronald said, sometimes when he has to make a decision, he thinks, what would Johan have done?
Yeah, very much so. I think we all think that, don't we? I mean, I sit there sometimes and think, what would my dad say? I'm sure you're the same, and obviously Ronald alluded to what Johan Cruyff would have said in a dressing room. And I think, you know, that's how we learn from people, don't we? We learn from people we respect.
You'd have seen clips of Johan Cruyff playing, wouldn't you?
He wasn't bad, was he? I tried his Cruyff about 1,000,001 times. It never ever looks as good, does it?
I can do it with the balloon, I think, in the kitchen. Well, it's been another year to look back on with immense pride for the Everton Academy, not least for the emergence of young talents such as Tom Davis and John Joe Kenny. But even down the age groups, the Academy has had another good campaign, and that was reflected in Wednesday night's annual Academy Awards evening staged at the iconic St George's Hall.
Tonight's a nice way to celebrate all that's been good about the season, and I've seen some really good highlights of things that we've achieved.
We acknowledge players, obviously, parents, the role they play for us, vitally important in the development of the young players. Staff, be them coaches, sports scientists, medical staff, recruitment staff, operations staff, education and welfare staff, everyone around here. It's a fantastic opportunity to come together and celebrate the success of this season.
The young kids enjoy it as well, Sean, don't we?
Oh yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, isn't it? You know, we come here to celebrate their success, and you know they love to look up at the screen and see them scoring goals and doing great things. So yeah, it's all about them. People have this discussion all about winning and development, and we're trying to develop winners. That's the job. You know, that's what gets them to the top. And tournament football is an important part of that. And when we go there, we want to challenge the boys to win. You look at Tom, you know, doing the presentations, and Joe, and they've both been here since they were little, and you know, and I remember watching them over the years, and it's great for the little ones to look at them and how actually the reality of that journey, you can make that journey.
That seemed to be an event that you actually missed, Graham. You weren't at that one.
No, I wasn't at that one, unfortunately. No, I mean, so I was there last year, and it's a great event because you see all these young kids, you know, from the ages of 7 and 8 come through and collect their awards. I mean, the delight on their faces because they're looking at probably their hero in Tom Davis now, someone who's come through our academy, and those lads there are looking at in Tom now and saying, look, I can do this now. He's my inspiration.
We've been to Academy Awards events at the end of the season when Tom has been the tiny boy in the Everton tracksuit getting his pennant off at Tim Cahill and Mikel Arteta or Jack Rodwell.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I remember when I was a kid, Tony Gale gave me my medal, and you know, he was a good lad, great lad, Tony as well. So you always remember that as a young player. If you go to an event and a professional footballer gives you your medal, you always remember who it was. So those lads will remember it, and hopefully they have successful careers.
I bet you've reminded Gailey about that a few times.
I have actually, yeah. He's, I'll never forget, he called me, you look a very smart footballer, because my mum and dad had made me wear a collar and tie. everyone else was in jeans and T-shirt. I felt left out.
I'll have to have a word with your mum and dad before you come on the Everton show. Tom is the embodiment of the academy. He's proof to that young boy there that if you're good enough, you work hard enough, you can get there.
Yeah, and that comes from the manager, because you know, he doesn't care whether you're 18 or 28. If you're playing well and you're showing the right commitment and you're working hard and you continue to do that, you're going to get your chance. And Tom was given his chance, taken it, and he's played the back end of the season and been very, very strong as well. So all those young lads, and certainly the lads who've been very successful in the 23s as well, you know, they've got to look at Tom, and he's the figurehead now. You know, if Tom can do it, I can do it. That's got to be the determination for them.
It's always great to see Mr. Tamlin at those awards as well. He's got such a passion for youth football, and that's why there's an award in his name.
Yeah, there is. Mr. Tamlin's been around Everton Football Club for years and years, and a terrific character. But his dedication to academy football and youth football around here has been magnificently, quite rightly, has an award in his name.
I think this night as well is good for the parents because the parents' commitment is immense, isn't it, over the years?
Yeah, it's very easy to forget. I mean, you know, these boys are travelling around the length and breadth of the country every other weekend, really, and it does take an awful lot of commitment from the parents, and, you know, they deserve a pat on the back as well because we all want to see our kids do well, but it takes an awful lot of commitment.
It was a special night. It was a pleasure to be the host again. We'll end part 3 with a heartwarming video involving Seamus Coleman and a young boy from Northern Ireland called Dara. This lovely piece of film tells the whole story.
Kind of got involved with Dara. There's just some stories that touch me more than others, and that just happened to be one. And I know they're trying to raise some money, so when footballers get involved in donating money, you know, it kind of raises the publicity of it all, and I think that's what I done. And you know, more people got involved, and Dara's kind of dream came true, really. And you know, he's going to get to the game tonight, which, you know, makes me happy, and I'm sure makes Dara and his family very happy.
I woke up one morning, saw that I had a text message from Seamus Coleman saying that, look, personally he had seen the page and he had donated £5,000 to get Dara over. Starstruck I was, obviously broke down in tears at the time, so I did, but obviously happy that he had done it, so he did, because it makes this dream possible for the young lad.
I've just heard he's walking out with Jags too, and couldn't be walking out with a better person. I know Jags will make him feel right at home, and you know, I know the Goodison Park reception will give him something else as well. So it's great for Dara, and I hope he's a great night.
He's a bubbly personality. He's a great kid, so he is, and he's a kid that deserves this trip. You can see now the smile on his face, like he's happy to be here. So he is, and it is all because of Seamus that we are here. Like, so it is.
What a lovely way to end part 3, and once again, what a lovely guy Seamus Coleman is. We hope Dara and his family really enjoyed their day. Right, we'll take another quick break now. In the 4th and final section of this week's Everton show, we'll look ahead to our very last game of 2016-17. It's the Gunners at the Emirates. Welcome back. Now, viewers of a certain age may well remember the very first time that Eastenders appeared on our TV screens. It was way back in 1985, and lifelong Arsenal fan Tom Watt was in that very first episode. He played a character called Lofty Holloway. Well, Tom has since become a renowned football writer and broadcaster, and he spoke to the Everton show recently, and he admitted it's been a tough season for his beloved Gunners, but that he's still hoping for a happy ending.
It has been a rough old season. That said, you want to finish it as well as you possibly can. So I think Arsenal will be up for a game. So I'm hoping that Everton, it's nice, it's comfortable, European football assured, all done. Yous can be on the beach. We'll be getting ready for a cup final.
Everton Arsenal's always a decent game of football, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Either place, actually. I mean, you know, Goodison's place, I just love going there, probably more than anywhere in the Premier League, really, just because it's that old school. It's a proper old football ground. So I hope it'll be a really good send-off to the season. It is, you know, it's too old school, you know. We've been there, Arsenal and Everton between us, we've been there longer than anybody else, haven't we? So hopefully it'll be a really decent game of football.
Which side of the Arsene Wenger fence are you on, Tom?
I don't see it as being one side of the fence or another. I just think you don't have a manager, the greatest manager in the club's history. You don't have a fella like him and it comes down to a kind of yes or no vote. It's complicated. Look, it's been poor this season and he has to take responsibility for that. On the other hand, he's the greatest manager in our history, and you would like to think that he could take a look and go, this is what I need to do. Now, I don't know, I'm pushing on myself and he's pushing on too, and maybe you get to a point where where it's more difficult to change, I don't know. But so I just, that whole thing of it, obviously it happens on radio phone-ins, it happens on the back page of the newspapers, and it's kind of upset me really that it's been happening this season and last particularly, where it's been happening amongst Arsenal supporters. It's not as simple as, yes, sir, what will be, will be. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, Arsene Wenger is a lot nearer the end of his time at Arsenal than he is to the beginning. Who knows, maybe it'll be over in 2 weeks' time. Maybe he'll sign off with winning the FA Cup. I don't know. Maybe he'll sign for another 2 years. Either way, it's my football club, and you take what happens.
You're a good friend of our chairman.
Do you know, I was talking to someone the other day, because we were saying that Everton are probably have as good a relationship with their own past, as good a relationship with their own history as any club around. Do you know what I mean? On the one hand, remembering it, but on the other, not just using it as something to make a few extra bob. Do you know what I mean? And we said, do you know the reason for that? It's because the fella running the club is a proper football supporter. He's an Evertonian through and through. So he gets it, so of course the club gets it. I really do think that makes a difference. You know, someone Everton is absolutely in his system. That makes a difference all through a football club. You know, and I do think that so many of the good things about Everton have been fostered by Bill over the years.
I always enjoy meeting up with Tom Watt. He always speaks well, he always speaks passionately, and I can remember him playing Lofty in Eastenders, can you?
Yeah, I can remember it actually. I was, well, 85, wasn't it? So I was 15 at the time, growing up. Didn't go out in those days, so I was watching it. I was in at 7:30 at night watching it.
He's a lifelong Arsenal fan. He'll be looking forward to the game at the weekend, and he'll be hoping that their star man, Sanchez, is on form.
Well, he'll be hoping that. We'll be hoping to nullify his performance. There's no doubt in Darren, on his day, he's one of the top performers in the Premier League. Hugely skilled, can score you a goal, causes havoc for back fours if he's on his game. So, you know, if he has a good day, Arsenal tend to have a good day.
Arsenal haven't had that many good days. They still could finish in the top four. They're probably likely to finish fifth, and they rank that as failure.
Well, they will, based on the fact that they've finished in the top four for, what, 16, 18 seasons on the spin, whatever it may be. And Arsene Wenger's very proud of that, but, you know, that they've had a bit of a lull, haven't they? And it looks like they're going to miss out by a point. And they'll look back at the course of the season, and that'll be hard to take for them because, you know, out of the Champions League is big. But, you know, at the end of the day, it might give them an opportunity next year in the Premier League with their form.
Nothing to do with us, but yes or no, should Wenger go?
Needs a change, Daz, I think.
I think it does need a change down there, but as I say, nothing to do with us. Now, Evertonians could be forgiven for labelling Arsenal away as their least anticipated fixture of the season. In our last 32 visits to Arsenal, 32, taking in Highbury as well as the Emirates, we've won just one. That was back in January 1996 when a certain Graham Stuart was joined by Andrei Kanchelskis on the score sheet in a 2-1 win. So it's fair to say we're due a win in North London, and Morgan Schneiderlin agrees.
We finished it well at home, and now we want to finish well the season. It's going to be a hard game because Arsenal, they still have to play for the Champions League. And for us, like you say, it's just a question of momentum and being ready, because the main thing we want to do is to improve our away form next season. And if we can find this little confidence and this little boost with the last game, we will take it and start next season well.
Is that the key to next season, do you think, taking the home form from this year and taking that on the road? Yeah, if we take the home form, the same home form on the road, we will be champion. You know, so we need to find a good balance and not to have so different results and performances away and at home. And if we do that, we can have a great season and being on a place in the top four or something, you know. So that's the main thing for this football club, to improve next year our away form, and then we see where he will bring us. Arsene Wenger was born in Strasbourg, played for Strasbourg. Is he somebody you have a lot of respect for? Yeah, a lot of respect. Of course, people a bit forgot what he did with Arsenal. Okay, the last couple of years they didn't win the Premier League, but they always qualify for the Champions League. They have good quality of footballer, good quality of football, and to stay in the club so long, it's very hard, especially for a manager. And what he did for this football club is great, and he's very much respected in France. When you were growing up and his early Arsenal teams, did you look at the likes of Vieira and Petty playing in the position that you do? Were they players that you watched? Yeah, I always looked at good and very good players to improve my game, and of course Arsenal always was a team who played, like I say, athletic football, so it was very nice to watch them. And when you have players like Vieira and Petit, you look up at them and you look where you can improve, and they were amazing players, and they had great seasons.
OK, Graham, it's January 1996. We're at Highbury. We're 1-0 down to an Ian Wright goal. 4 minutes gone in the second half. You take up the story.
Yeah, I think a ball got played over the top, and I think Arsenal, being the back four that they were, claimed that, I think it was Big Dunk who they claimed was offside, but he was on the way back and I was on the way through from midfield, and ended up one-on-one with David Seaman, gave him the eyes and went the other way round, and fortunately squeezed it in at the near post.
The England goalkeeper, no less.
Yeah, he was at the time, yeah, and a very, very good goalkeeper, no doubt about it. And then Andre finished it off. 6 minutes to go, Andre buried the winner, and we walked out of Highbury with 3 points. And I hate to say it, the last time it's happened.
Well, we never won at Highbury again. We still haven't won at the Emirates. Arsenal obviously have had a very, very good side over the period, but you do have bogey teams, don't you?
You do, somewhere along the line in your career, you meet up against a side who just seem to have the Indian sign over you, and Arsenal certainly away from home have that. But we've got to change it. And Morgan and the boys, Morgan out, by the way, who I think has been absolutely outstanding for us, they'll sort it out. They'll change it for us.
Sunday could be the day. And that's just about it for this week's programme. Let me just say good luck, by the way, to Everton ladies, who require just one more point at London Bees on Saturday to secure the WSL2 Spring Series crown. Good luck to Andy and the girls. Now, when we go to the Emirates on Sunday, it will be 7,792 days since we last won away at Arsenal. It's going to end one day. Many thanks indeed for joining myself and Graham Stuart this week. Please join us for the last Everton show of the season next week. We'll end this week's show with a look at a special piece of film that had its premiere at the kit launch event on Tuesday night.
I can remember sitting in the Gladys Street. The atmosphere was amazing. Now I'm out here and I'm proud to represent the fans.
I've grown up living so close to Goodison, walking the same route for so many years, seeing all the fans coming together on a match day. Now I'm walking out of the tunnel, proud every time I pull on the blue shirt.
I've always been a blue. I was even a ball boy growing up. Like all young lads, I always dreamt about scoring a goal here. To be able to do that with the Goodison crowd behind me, it was a moment I'll never forget.
I remember getting a tour of Goodison Park as a kid, seeing all the shirts hanging up with the players' names on the back. To see my shirt hanging up there is unbelievable.
I can remember when I was a kid, used to get the bus up with my cousin, sneak in to catch the last 10 minutes of a game. To know you have 40,000 fans behind you when you walk out onto this pitch, we wouldn't be anywhere without them. Together blue.